Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this lucky episode 13 on No Man's Land with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, it's been a couple days since we were in here last, in game days. I was just cycling through the lime in our rent just to get our money up a little bit because we were cutting it pretty close because we were going to put the BGA in. But noticed there was an issue. We weren't having any produce show up, and when I came over here, I'll show you, I was getting a warning saying down there, too many pallets. So what I have done this morning quickly is I've loaded up all our furniture pallets here. Um, right now, July is supposed to be the best time, but we're getting a pretty good price on furniture if we look at the resale here. Um, Farm shop, either one, they're so close. But that's pretty close to what they call out as the peak price. So we're going to go and sell those and see if that doesn't get us out of our bind temporarily. Now we have probably double this many just pallets of planks, but their price isn't quite as good, but we'll sell off some of them as they have to. Um, Oops, I see one of those is not strapped down. Um, not a very good loading. I know those of you that are good pallet stackers, like Cobbler, close your eyes, but I didn't want to use up all my recording time trying to stack pallets nice this morning. So I just kind of threw them on there as quick as I could. This should be a pretty nice little payday, and it'll help towards our biogas as well. Well, probably, I'm hoping now some produce pallets will spring free and we can sell them off. So, with 82, almost 83,000, pretty nice payday. And that's not even quite a year worth of furniture. So that almost pays for our 2 carpentry shops right there. Anyways, I'll head back to the farm and we'll see if our pallet situation has been rectified. Catch up with you later. Well, it certainly does seem to be true that there is a pallet limit because now I've got produce starting to show up here. I have some lettuce here as well. What I did is I put in a little farm shop here. It's from Almatana. And what it allows us to do is take our lettuce and tomatoes and make tomato paste and mix salads. It's not something that's in the base game factories. I thought I'd add that in. It makes sense that we would do that and maximize our profit here on the farm, and we can still supply to others, of course. But we, if we can process a little bit of it, why not? So I'm going to go ahead and take care of these other pallets, and I think I might actually lease an auto load pallet uh, of some sort, either a trailer or um, the Phoenix does it as well, because we have a swack of planks sitting here. That's our biggest use of pallets. They're all lined up there. So rather than spend a bunch of time loading those by hand, I think I'll just auto load those. We're very close to the peak price on those, so I think I'll get rid of those as well. And that'll give us max amount of money to play around with when we go to BGA. So I'll take care of that, and I'll bring you back in when that's done. Catch up with you in just a minute. Well, we're down here where we're going to put our BGA, and we're going to put it in this flat area here. If we look at the map, I've already purchased this piece of land here, which is pretty much directly behind our fermenting silo. So that is already done. One other thing I wanted to show you, I noticed when I was in here kind of looking around, is you can see this is where we've mowed, and you notice there's no field info coming up. But if I go in here and look, it shows that it's 50% fertilized because we mowed it. I'm going to come down here and try and see if I can put another fertilizer state on that. I was thinking we couldn't because there's no field info showing, but once we get this done, I'm going to come down here and see if we can do that. So sorry, that was an aside. So anyways, we're going to put our biogas plant in. Now I did a little experimentation offline to kind of get it roughly where I wanted. So we'll try placing it. I've got the game saved. If it doesn't quite work out, I might have to come back in and do it offline again, but we're going to give it a go here. So it's under productions. We're going to use the modular BGA just because I've never messed with that. And what I decided to do is to go with the largest bunker here. And from what, let's see if it's kind of squared up to these. Let's see if we can move it a little bit. That looks pretty good. And I figure if I kind of line it up here with that one, and just a little past the corner of the building, that should work pretty good. So we'll start with that one there. And then we're going to go, I decided to go with the 200 rather than the 300. I wanted the largest bunker so it would hold as much material as possible and process it as fast. Now the same holds true with the fermenters. The larger the fermenter, the more it'll hold and the faster it'll work. But I mean, we're not doing super huge amounts, so I figured we could get away with the medium one. So now we need to roll that around. And this goes into here someplace like that, kind of. Actually, that looks pretty good. Turn our... Oh. Good thing I checked because that little manhole thing was kind of gonna be... Oh, that menu is kind of in the road for doing this to get it in. It's got to find the sweet spot here. Oh, that should work pretty good. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, I did end up with it a little bit closer than I had it in my trial run, but I think that'll work. Now, I had considered, they have these post fermenters where we could have taken our methane and electricity and converted it into digestate. So when I put my fencing in that around, I want to make sure I leave room for it to go in something like this. But I don't think we're going to use it right now. I think we're going to we're just going to sell that off. I think we'll have more than enough digestate to feed our next piece we're going to put in here, and that is, it's under factories as well. It's back this way. Oh, I believe there it is. I want to put in this dryer, so it's going to take, and we're going to send some of our digestate over here, and it'll dry it and turn it into fertilizer, which we can certainly use. And yeah, I don't think there's any reason we can't line that up with that, actually. Actually, we'll just check and make sure it's, oh yeah, it's pretty much right in line. That should be good. don't see any reason why that won't work right there. So for now, uh, if we find that we don't have enough digestate to feed this, uh, then we'll put in that other piece. But otherwise, I think we can run with this right now. I don't think we're going to need any additional storage, but we certainly can add that. So actually, we just go back into construction mode. So what I'm going to do now is my plan is to fence this area off, run a fence out like this, down like this, square obviously, and across, up, and across here with a gate, and that will be our area. So I haven't messed much with the fences, so I think I'll do that offline because there might be some restarts on that, and then of course I'll gravel our yard. But I think we're at least that's where we're gonna start for now. So I'm gonna go offline here, and I will finish up with the fencing, and I'll bring you back in when that's done, and we can take a final look. So catch up with you in just a minute. There we go. There's a bird's eye view of our facility. Pretty happy with that. One thing I did kind of forget about when I was laying this out was we may not want that post fermenter, but we're definitely going to want a liquid fermenter. But there's more enough room to put that in here. And if we decide to add that other component, we can blow out this fence if we need to. So, and I think there's lots of room here for vehicles to get in and turn around, so I'm pretty happy with that. So all that leaves is for us to get some silage out of here and get it in the plant and start working. So I'll go grab the truck and trailer, and I'll catch up with you in just a minute. So there we have our truckload of silage. Just gotta swing out here to make this corner. Well, tell me it's one of those bunkers that we actually have to dump into. Let me come around from this way here. See if this makes a difference. Huh. Wow. I didn't realize that. Well, we could put a ramp in. Just let me dump this back in the silo here. We'll see, there were those Annaberger trailers that you could use to in a situation like that. See if they're available. I didn't really look for them, so I don't know if they're in FS22. So hopefully we can dump this back in here. Oh, can't even do that. All right. Well, I'll have to take that to the silo. I can dump it in there. Let's go up here and have a look at trailers. Oh, yeah, there it is there. Now, I'm assuming, I think that's, yeah, it looks like it's got some stuff under there that's one that you can still lift in and dump in. Really wasn't planning on spending 105 grand on that. But those Vadersteins look cool. Oh, ooh, no, I guess we don't need to cover that bad. And I'll fix the plate up later. So I guess I'll go ahead and buy that. Um, Hopefully I don't end up with buyer's remorse, but I really don't want to deal with a ramp just for this reason here. If I put a ramp in, then it's going to make it awkward to get to these points. Then I'd have to move this. So I think a trailer it is. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll purchase that trailer, and I'll take this back to our silo and dump it in the farm, and then I'll catch up with you when I get all that mess sorted out. So see you in just a second. All right, this is the silage that was in our truck. I just dumped it in our multi-fruit. I bought the trailer, and so I just filled it up from there. And I did confirm it does should tip into here no problem. At least it always used to tip into these types of bunkers in FS19. So hopefully this works, or else if it doesn't, we'll be looking at a ramp. Maybe I need to, yeah, I just need to push it back a little bit. And there we go. Wasn't really planning on buying one of these trailers, but this does work. Luckily we had the money, although, yeah, like I said, I did have other plans. All right, so if we go in here and look at our production, sorry, that's a fermenting silo. BGA is probably going to be right here at the bottom. There's the bunker, so we'll turn it on. Fermenter, we'll turn that on, and this, the electric charge, will push the selling, the methane desaling. And now the digestate, we're going to put the distributing, and this is our dryer here, and we'll turn that on. Now, hopefully that all works. I think that should be the ticket. Tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to, I'll park this over here for now. We might need to put a shelter in to put it under, or maybe I can squeeze it in that shelter out front. But I'm going to run and have a piece of strawberry cheesecake in Aunt Emma's, and we'll give this an hour or two, and we'll make sure that everything's working as we expected. So I'll see you in a little bit. Well, that was a very good piece of cheesecake and cup of coffee here I had down at Aunt Emma's. Also had a couple interesting conversations with some of the locals. I ran into the owner of the farm shop here, and I was talking to him, and he actually owns this property across the road here, and he had always planned to develop it. And he's saying that he's really more interested in just focusing on the farm shop. And would I be, seeing as I had kind of in that business now to a certain extent, would I be interested in taking it on? He'd like to sell the entire piece of property as a block, and he would just rent from us. So I said, yes, we would take that under advisement. Sorry about that. In the middle of my story, the phone rang. So, anyways, where was I? Yeah, he would like to sell the entire property to us, and he would just like to rent and focus on his retail business. So I said, yeah, we take that. We would consider that. So that was one opportunity. Then also ran into the owner of No Man's Land Resale, and he was aware of the lime business we're doing with the farm shop, and he also was already aware that we put in that fertilizer dryer, and I guess he can get us a premium price on any fertilizer. I told him was tent was for our use, but that we would likely be able to supply him some. So he said he's got some overseas buyers that'll pay premium. So we got a buyer for any SX fertilizer, and he also said he wouldn't mind getting in on the line. That he could sell that as well. So I told him we'd look at that. I'd have to upgrade some equipment, but I'd get back to him, and if we can supply him with any line, then well, we'll do that as well. Oh, you know what we were going to do? Let's do that before we take off down the road here. We forgot to check to see if our processes were working. So there's our bunker. Oh, and it's actually processed all that silage we put in there already. Holy, it's fast. I did realize when I got down here, I forgot to put this on distributing. It was on storing, so I did make, you didn't see me do that, but I put this on distributing, so it's distributing to the fermenter. So our silage has gone to a fermenter, and it's selling our electric charge and methane, and that's what I was thinking of converting to digestate. I don't think we'll need to do that. We'll have more than enough digestate, and this will give us, um, hourly income. That's what I'm looking for. So it's distributing the digestate, and this is what I really want to know, if it's coming down here. Yes, yes, indeed it is, because I tried that on a standard biogas plant, and it didn't work. It wouldn't distribute it. So uh, cool. So what should happen now? It'll make solid fertilizer. When that's full, it should go back to storing, from what I understand. But we will kind of keep a close eye on that, so we don't miss out. Well, sorry about that. I get another phone call. 2 phone calls in 5 minutes, and I don't normally get 2 phone calls a day. Anyways, let's head back to our farm here. And we need to look at our fields, because it is the time of year. We've got a couple empty, well, one empty field. Oh, and I'm going to try and fertilize that grass, wasn't I? Maybe I'll look at doing that next. Oh, I see I forgot to change the time scale. I have got to do that. I'll do that as soon as we get to the farm. So we've got that to do. We need to plan what we're going to put in our fields. It's somewhat complicated because I would really like to put precision farming on, but I'd like to get all our crops off first. So we'll take a look at that. We'll just park up here for just the time being. So I think this one I'm just going to put grass in, because eventually, like, we're going to incorporate this into the yard, and it's going to be for more vehicle parking. Let's look at the calendar here. So I do want to put in another cereal crop for the straw. So we got some time for that for sure. When is the canola going to come off? Oh, so it actually should work out pretty good. We can get the canola off, and we can put the cereal crops in. Where's our sunflower? Ooh, that might be a bit of a fly in the ointment there, because it doesn't come off till October. Well, I think we're going to sit and take a wait and see attitude. Maybe we'll take the canola off, and then we'll put precision farming. We'll just take the hit on the sunflowers. We'll see. Because I would like to put some more canola back in. I want to put a cereal crop up here again, just to get the straw and sunflowers again. Is kind of the plan. So, anyways, enough yabbering on. I'm going to go and grab the fertilizer spreader, and I'm going to see if I can throw fertilizer on that grass. So, I'll let you know if that works or not. Catch up with you in a minute. Well, we have an answer on our fertilizer. I fertilized up to here, and if we look at the map, so I fertilized all down here and up to this point, and we didn't get any credit for that. So although we are getting credit for fertilizer state, we can't add to it. So it is what it is. We won't waste any time doing that. But we forgot to take into account our olives. So we look at our crop calendar, and they are October. So I think what we'll probably end up having to do is maybe once the canola is off, put precision farming on, and we may end up taking a hit a bit on the sunflowers and olives because like it resets your fields when you do that. Um, but if we wait for them to be ready, then we'll miss the boat for a whole year of planting. So I think that's the best we can do there. That's the plan as it stands right now, but as you know from watching this channel, plans change frequently. But we do have a bunch of new grass we can mow, but I'm going to kind of wait for that other grass to catch up. It shouldn't be long. So what I think I'm going to do next is I'm going to move some more silage over. And, oh, I forgot to change that darn time again. I got to do that here. I know that's what I said last time, but this time I'll really do it. I think I'll move that silage over and then see what I can find to do after that. So I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Now we're down here at the store and we're going to look at a new piece of equipment here. Because the one thing we can do to our field is we can mulch it. And there's been nothing come up used. And like I said, we've kind of horsepowered up. We're going to start replacing some of the small gear we had with larger gear. So we're going to go ahead and purchase ourselves a new mulcher. And this is a new mod that came out and should make pretty short work of the mulching on the farm. 9 meters at 21 miles an hour. So we're going to buy that, because we're going to need that every crop cycle. And I brought down our small case. It's got the appropriate amount of horsepower to pull that. And this, I think, will be the last chore we'll do this episode. And probably the last chore I'll do on the farm today, as the light is starting to disappear. Alright, I'll meet you back at the field. Alright, let's do some high-speed mulching. Oops. Meant to lift that up. My buttons are starting to get a little dirty, I think. There's no harm in us getting this done before we put in precision farming. I guess it also helps if you don't hit the end of the field at 21 miles an hour. Yeah, this is going to make short work of mulching on our fields. Yeah, I think what we need to do here is make ourselves a little bit of a headland, because that one wheel is a little behind. Make life a little easier for us. Our case doesn't seem to have any problem with this at all. Well, you've probably seen enough of this. And I think we'll call that an episode. Oops, better watch where I'm going here. So if you're still with me, I really appreciate you watching. If you found this entertaining or informative, please hit the like button and the subscribe button. And if you want to see when other content like this drops, then I encourage you to hit the notification bell. But for this episode, that is a wrap. And until next time, Farmer Murphy, signing off.